Alright guys, welcome back to the video. In this video, we are going to cover a third section of the time and date series where we can convert a text into a date. Sometimes what exactly happen is that when you try to analyze the data, but the date are in the text format, and when you try to use that, you can see something like this visual. Here, if you look to the dates, it is in the categorical format, and that why it is not in a continuous timeline. Because our date are in a text format, so Power BI treat this particular column as a categorical function rather than treating as a continuous timeline. And to solve this kind of problem, we have the two function, that is a date value and the time value, that basically convert your date and time text column into a particular format that it can use for the analysis. So let me show you that. Just add a new column. Okay, when we press enter, as you can see here, we actually have the new column that represent a date. But this function basically set a default time to 0. So let use this column and visualize this graph again. And now if we use this particular new column to visualize this graph, you can see it treat a new date function. Let's move toward the next function, which is a time value. And the time value function is basically have the two use. The first one is it can be used to convert a text into a date and time format, but also it can be used to extract a time from the date and time column. So just add a new column. When we press enter, as you can see, it also have the default date value, but the time is different for each column. And to solve this problem is you just go in the format and select a long time. So you only have the hours, minute and second in the particular column. Here we have used both the date value and time value function. Let's now move toward the next function, that is a format, and which is wisely used function in the Power BI, not only to extract the information from the date column, for also converting a different sort of value in the format like date, numeric, percentage, and there are a lot of other uses of this function. But here in this video, we are only going to use this for the date and time related purpose. And for that, before we move to the format function, make sure that this particular date column that we have must be in the date and time format to get a proper answer. Now just add a new column. And here what we are trying to do is that what we want is month and year in the separate column for our analysis. So how we can use this format function for this problem, let me show you. The format function basically take a value and the format, and here we give it as the input. Okay, now you can see we have a separate column where you can have the month, name and year as separated from the date. And how you can get these values is depend on the syntax that you use in this particular format function. And to understand this syntax, what you need to use, you can actually get it over here in the format after selecting a date column, and here you can analyze the different syntax for different format. It is a quick and easy trick that you can follow, and If you want a table, just go to the Microsoft Power BI site. Here you have the separate table for the value and the syntax that you need to use. And it is quite useful when you understand the format function, because the single function can use for different purpose. It actually help you to customize the date column, and further it can be help you in the aggregation of data. So all right, we have covered the three function in this video, that is date value, time value, and format, and hope you understand that. And I want you to more practice with the format function, like you can get a weekday by using the same function. And the more you use this particular function, the more you get familiar with it, the more use cases you can find along with your analysis. And that's all in this video. See you in the next.